All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former Pirate righty, now in the Guardians organization, Carter Spivey joining us. Carter, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, and ready to talk some baseball with you. Wearing my Blue Jays hat for Trey today, but
I see that.
enjoyed the Guardians postseason run, especially, of course, what Big Gav was able to do, and just curious, Carter. I mean, it's it's probably a little bit different, but does that kind of success trickle down into the organization? Like, how fired up were you to see not only Gavin Williams throwing, but your team in postseason baseball?
No, absolutely. I think it all trickles down. I think winning is a culture. And if you're winning at the big league level, I mean, I think it trickles down to the minor leagues and vice versa. The minor leaguers are used to winning, and they go up to the big leagues and they win. And I think it's the same in college too. You bring winners in, and find ways to win. So.
With Trey, and of course he'll be throwing tonight in the World Series, his second start of this World Series. Mentioned Big Gav, Alec Burleson, Connor
Mhm.
Norby, just so many guys doing it in the bigs, and then guys like you, man, who are getting it done in professional baseball. It's amazing to see the amount of Pirates, and that's gotta give you some pride too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was talking to Coach G about it a couple days ago, and I think it makes him happy seeing all these guys that are out, chasing their dreams and having success. And I think it's just really cool. It's cool for not only us as players, but for a program like ECU, we can kind of hang our hat on it. So.
Let's get an update on you, Carter. Tasted some Double A and Triple A in 2025. Tell us about your year.
Yeah, so broke camp with AAA Columbus, and then kind of was back and forth between there and Akron, and then eventually ended up settling in Akron, um, which is Double A, and pretty solid season. Had a little bit of a rough stretch in May, but it was just a couple outings. But other than that, it was pretty solid.
I'd like to ask you guys, where do you see the biggest jump? Well, we had Dixon Williams on recently, and he talked about noticing a difference just kind of with the short season and stuff he was doing in his first taste of professional baseball. But what's it like, Carter, going from East Carolina to the low A, and then as you go to low A, double A, triple A, what's kind of the biggest test, the biggest jump for you've seen so far?
For me, I think I mean, obviously, like the talent level is a lot. It's a higher talent level. But that's also just guys who have been playing the game for a really long time. They really understand, like for a hitter, like they understand their strike zones. They know what they do well at the plate. They know what they don't do well. And same thing with pitching too. Like you kind of have to know what your strengths are. And there's a little bit more of that kind of mental side of things where you can't really almost just rely on talent to a certain degree. You kind of have to have some knowledge and I guess wherewithal, I guess, to some baseball savvy to kind of succeed. So it's pretty. It was fun. It's fun to see it. Facing some big league guys and just kind of watching them go about what they do and going up against them. It was fun.
As you mentioned, you settled in kind of in Akron, but like yourself, guys are going up and down. So, how
Mhm.
much do you know night to night about the hitters you're facing? Does the team have, scouting reports for all the minor league guys? Or are you up there just kind of working on you and then throwing your best stuff?
So I think it differs from organization to organization, but with Cleveland, before every series, we'll sit down. So in the minor leagues, you play Tuesday to Sunday, and Mondays are off. So Tuesday before the game, we'll sit down and as a pitching staff and with the catchers, we'll go over like their entire lineup. You go over like their key hitters or the guys you don't want to let beat you, and go over their strengths, like where you can attack them, what they're having success on, and stuff like that. And then we'll also go over like some base running stuff, like who are the threats to steal bases, who can move down the line a little bit, stuff like that. And then also some of their like strategies too, like what counts do they run on? Like, are they really aggressive, like early in the count, late in the count, fastball counts, breaking ball counts, stuff like that. So we kind of go through all that stuff, and then we also have some data they send us like on our phones that we can kind of review over the course of the week, and um, so we can have access to it at any point.
Carter, man, your story's awesome, and we'll touch on it a little bit from your freshman days at ECU to upperclassmen. But I want to ask you, kind of facing more adversity in professional baseball, playing with the Florence Yaws. I guess are you with Hoove and a couple of Pirates on that team? And it sounded like Hoove was treating it just as, hey man, I like playing baseball, so he's out there playing ball. You used it as a stepping stone to more greatness, which is tremendous. But how about those days, Carter? What was your mindset going out there playing independent, frontier league baseball?
Yeah, obviously, coming out of college, like finishing up my last year here, I obviously wanted to get drafted or signed right away, but didn't happen that way. And kind of right after the draft, that time frame, I texted some of the area scouts and basically just asked for feedback, like, hey, like, what do I got to work on, like, and they gave me some honest feedback, and at Hoover, I guess, had started playing with Florence, and he talked to their manager and was like, "Hey, I got a guy I played college ball with, and he wants to keep playing." And they reached out and went there, and basically, for me, it was just like another step to
Yeah,
get there. It was like I thought it. The way I kind of looked at it was a way for me to kind of learn what pro baseball was all about without playing like affiliated baseball. Um, and I got to face. I mean, a lot of the indie ball guys are all ex professional baseball players, anyways. So from that aspect, like still getting good experience, stuff like that. And it was obviously a really fun time playing with Big Hoove and Benny T.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so I just kind of used it as like a learning experience, and then obviously I pitched well, and then like I said, used the feedback to help myself get signed. So
Awesome stuff, and that kind of reminds me of you talking about you reaching out to scouts. Isaiah Winstead, former EC receiver, kind of went unnoticed, and finally just put out his tape on Twitter one day, and it kind of
mhm.
went viral, and he got picked up by the Niners. Was on their scout team, and since then has been playing pro ball in the USFL and UFL, things like that. But how much did you kind of you bet on yourself, and you're almost like anybody trying to get a job, sending out resumes and stuff like that to
Basically,
get yourself noticed.
yeah, no, that's, I mean, it's kind of the way I had to look at it. And
Yeah,
I know I wanted to keep playing, and I knew I had more in the tank. And I definitely thought I was good enough to keep playing. But I just had to kind of wait for to catch a break. And eventually it did. Um, that off season, and here I am. So it all worked out.
what's kind of next for you as far as your baseball calendar? What are you up to these next few months before you get back going again with the Guardians organization?
Right now, I'm living with Big Gav, and working out, training over at ECU with a couple other guys, and um, just kind of enjoying the off season a little bit, getting to see my girlfriend. Obviously, see that the coaches over there, see some friends. Saw Garrett Saylor here past couple weeks, so just kind of enjoying the off season, the downtime, because come probably around December or so, it starts to pick up a little bit, start throwing bullpens and whatnot, and all that free time starts to go away. So, trying to enjoy it a little bit while I can.
Man, I love that, and you guys just being back, being around the current team, being around the coaches and things like that. Talked about it with Zach Agnos last week, who had a little taste of success in the bigs this past year.
Hmm.
But it's just the sign of a healthy program, and I've said it, Carter, forever. I am a big basketball fan. I want basketball success at East Carolina, but it just feels like we have a different team every year. There's no program. There's no real culture, and man, that is one thing that Cliff Godwin and Billy and past managers did as well. But Cliff certainly has the family, the culture, the atmosphere where, hey man, you might move on, but you're always welcome back, and I think that's huge for a program.
Yeah, I mean, we literally, I think the first team meeting when we show up to campus every fall is it's basically that. It's culture, right? That's what we're building here, and that's what we have built here. And I think it, like you said, it speaks volumes when guys just want to keep coming back, right? Like it's one big family, and some guys leave and fill those holes with new guys who want to pick up the slack and keep going. So it's definitely really cool.
Carter, I like to ask guys this too. How has your relationship changed with Cliff from being a player, being a freshman that didn't get a lot of folks out, to being an All American, to where you are now? How does that relationship grow over the years?
That's a funny question. Yeah, I mean, freshman year, maybe a little scared, a little timid, right?
Yeah,
You don't want to mess up.
yeah. I'm
But
still that way, Carter, with around him, so it's cool. Yeah,
if any freshman says they don't feel that way, they're lying to you. But no, I mean, now it's basically like, we're best friends, and I think I feel like he's like that with everybody. I don't think
yeah,
that's just exclusive to me, and um, I don't know. I think it's the culture thing. I think everybody that comes through this program, they matter. They mean something. That you're here to help the program, whether you're playing on the field or not. Like there's multiple ways to help. And Coach G will say that, you can help on the field, you can help in the classroom, you can help in the locker room. There's multiple ways to help. So I think that just goes to show, like, just the culture we have here. Everybody's important.
Carter Spivey joining us. Carter, how much are you watching the World Series? Are you like a baseball fan at heart? I'm sure you're at least paying attention to it, but do you tune in? Do you do other things? How closely are you following things?
I'm a big baseball nerd,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to pitching. So I've been watching. I'll definitely be watching Trey start tonight. I'll be looking forward to that. I watched this game one, and I watched the game the other night. 18 innings was a bit of a stretch, but I did stay up through the 12th inning, which was about 1 a.m. here. So I was there. I was watching. I was tuned in. But yeah, definitely, it's been a good series so far. Very very back and forth. I'm enjoying it.
no doubt. And the star power is there. Great moments, great clutch defensive plays. When you see an
Hmm.
18 inning game as a pitcher, is that like a dream? Like, man, this is awesome, or is it a nightmare? Like, what? How do you look at a game like that from your perspective?
I think being that it's the World Series, it probably eases it a little bit. Like you're out there you're trying to win the World Series, right? And everybody's going to do what they got to do. And I mean, you saw, I think there was multiple times during the night they had starting pitchers warming up for both teams,
Yeah,
getting ready to go out there when they weren't
yeah.
supposed to be throwing. Like, I think that's just kind of what it takes. And 18 inning games these days are very rare, but I don't know. I think it's exciting. It's very tense, so I enjoy it.
I love seeing, like, back in the '90s. One of my memories of postseason baseball is seeing Randy Johnson warm up and come in like in the ninth or 10th inning, which was awesome. And a guy like you, Carter, and it reminds me of college baseball where you guys start. Sometimes you have to come out of the pen. Sometimes you save a game. So it kind of takes me back to college baseball, and you guys kind of being utility pitchers when you get in those postseason moments.
Yep, yep. And it's actually funny because I kind of had to do the same thing this year. Did the start of the year coming out of the bullpen, and then they moved me to starting when somebody got hurt. So, like I said, a lot of that stuff was kind of just preparing me for what I'm doing now. So that's kind of cool.
When you think about your best days at Clark LeClaire, Carter, what memories pop in your brain?
And I was talking about this with Josh Groves the other day. The 22 season when we hosted a super. That one still haunts me a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, just the way that, we started off that year about as badly as you probably could start off a season. And about halfway through we figured it out and got really hot. We won what, like 22 in a row or something like that, and obviously hosted the first ever super in Clark LeClaire. And I mean, we all thought that we were going to be the team that was going to break down that door, but it wasn't meant to be. Maybe this year will be the team. I don't know, but that 22 season sticks out to me for a lot of reasons.
yeah, that was a wild one, and man, some fun times there at Clark LeClaire Stadium. Carter, do you know where you'll begin your 2026?
I do not. I do not know.
I knew the answer to that question because I asked all you guys, and it's all up in the air. So you're just
Yeah.
But yeah, still part of the Guardians.
Yep. I am just like I said, focusing on like getting better on some certain things this off season, and show up to spring training healthy and ready to dominate.
On that note, Carter, and we'll wrap it up. But how do you? I don't know. How do you add a little bit of velo? How do you add a pitch? Like what when you say get better? Like what does get better mean to you this off season?
There's a couple things that I'm trying to work on. Some pitch design stuff for sure. But a lot of it is more like consistency based, just making sure that every time I touch the mound, like in a game situation, I got my best stuff or as close to it as possible. Try to minimize the uh, the valleys, so to speak, of pitching. Try to keep everything really like dialed in and consistent. And that's always going to be kind of a work in progress, but that's kind of what you're shooting for, just to be your best every single time out there. So
Well, Carter, awesome catching up with you, man, and we're proud of
likewise,
you. We pull for you. We always do our Caroline Cook Homes Pirates and the pros updates. So we're always talking about your numbers. So enjoy this time off, and looking forward to you getting back at it in 2026. And we'll track you down again in the future, man.
sounds good. Thanks for having me on, and it was good catching up with you too.